We're talking housing today after Theresa May's promised to build more council houses every year, 5,000 for the next 5 years.
I've just had a look. Steph's back in the buggy.
Is she?
Yeah, she's at the
That's
NEC
like
in Birmingham. Where is she? Oh, she's down there. Good morning.
Good morning to you, morning everybody. Yeah, I'm at the UK's biggest construction show where, of course, best way to get around is in a buggy. But it's here where there are something like 630 exhibitors. I'm going to get Larry, my cameraman, to jump in as well. Come on, Larry, jump in. Let me put the brake on there. There we are. And you can have a little look around this morning because, yeah, we're talking about housing because, of course, we had the announcement last week, didn't we, from the Prime Minister announcing a £2 billion injection to fund 25,000 homes for social rent by 2021. She also announced an extra £10 billion for the Help to Buy scheme, and you'll remember that's the one which helps buyers get a mortgage with a deposit of as little as 5%. And of course, crucially, it's encouraged the building of more new homes, and that's important because we're not building enough, and we're going to be talking more about that in a minute. But according to government figures in 2016-17, around 150,000 new builds were completed, but that is well short of the 250,000 that most experts agree is required. And obviously there are lots of reasons why we aren't building enough homes. And today here at this exhibition, it's all about showing off all the different wares and all these companies showing off their products which they would like to sell here at this exhibition. So let's go and have a chat with a few guests. Let me just whip round this corner. There we are. A few people looking a bit scared at this morning, seeing me driving this, but we've got a couple of experts we can chat more to about this. Right, Larry, jump out. I am working my cameraman hard this morning, but I know he does a brilliant job. Let's have a chat with Kate Faulkner, property expert, and of him, James, who's from the National Housing Federation. Kate, why do we need these homes?
Well, we need homes in every sector. So in some areas, you know, it's quite easy to afford properties if you're a first-time buyer, or to rent privately a good property, or indeed to get a social council home. But in other areas, you can't get any of those. And so we desperately need stock in places like Reading, for example, Harrogate, London, of course, to make sure that we can put a roof over people's heads. Because if you can do that, then you take away a lot of stresses and strains in people's lives.
Yeah. James, what are your thoughts on the announcements from the Prime Minister? Do you think it's enough?
I think it's a really good start, and that's the important thing here. So we know that we haven't been building enough homes. We know what we need to do. We know how many homes we need to build eventually, and the funding really gives us the kind of material to work with.
What do you think, though, is missing, Kate?
Well, I don't think we've quite really understood. There are three ways of building homes and putting roofs over people's heads. You use the private sector, you work with the housing associations who've not-for-profit, or you build council houses. And I think what we've got to do is who's going to supply what housing in which areas to help the need, because there's some areas where the private sector just can't do it. And then we have to have others to step in. And I don't think we've really understood that those three sectors need to work together to make sure we deliver for local communities at postcode level.
Often when I talk about what's going on in the property market and the need for more social housing, I'll get messages from people saying, there's loads of empty homes near me, why can't we use them? Why do we need to build more, James?
Because we haven't been building enough homes. By the government's own estimation, we need to build between 225,000 and 275,000 homes a year. And we're not there yet. Housing associations are contributing very heavily to building new homes. We built 40,000 homes last year, and as a sector have an ambition to deliver 120,000 homes. But we need to do more, and that's why the £2 billion the government announced last week is so welcome.
Kate, what do you think this will mean for the housing market overall?
Well, what I don't think people understand is how much money building houses puts back into the economy, and not just, it doesn't go disappearing off to the global shareholders of the wealthy rich. It goes right back into the local economy where you build that house and supports local companies, and it generates a huge amount for our economy, but for us and for people living there, be it jobs, be it local profits which go back into the local community.
Yeah, and you mentioned that this business behind us is quite a new British manufacturer, so it's important for these guys as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time this morning. I really appreciate it. I just want to say, whenever I come to things like this, obviously loads of people come up to me going, put my stall on, and they come up with sweets and all kinds of different ways to bribe me. Look at this. Somebody's made a picture of me out of screws. Look at that. How good is that?
That's really good. You know, it would be the absolute perfect picture of you if one of the screws was loose.
Oh, Nagger, you are shocking, right? Just because I'm not there to see you.
You know what she's
say
like?
that to my face, love.
She can't be nice. She can't be nice. Hey, no need to fight about it, you two. Come on.
So that's what
Back off.
I'm proper scared now.
I've got to say, I'll be back in McGovern in that. If that
Really?
came to a wrestling match.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we wouldn't go there. I love you, Steph. I'll see you next week.
It's all about the reach advantage. It's all about the reach advantage.